Yung administration candidates, at that time nga, they were actually asked because of their representation then, ethnic representation or Muslim Filipino sila. And I'm glad na may tatlo kami or apat kami ngayon. And I'm also in the opposition, at least kasi meron din sa administration si Congressman Mango Dadato and Lady Anne sa Hidula of Sulu is in party organization. So yes, the odds may be against us na opposition, but the agenda I think is very firm. You want to work on anti-discrimination, etc. So I think baka makinig yung Pilipino.
The president likes to point out that he is from Mindanao.
Yes.
He's the first president from Mindanao.
Yeah.
He also likes to say that he has Islamic roots. On his grandparents' side, Maranao, if I understand correctly. Well, that being the case, why did you decide to run with the opposition? Would you have, or was that even a consideration? Would you have something more in common with the way the president would think, or not necessarily?
Well, I would question already the policies kasi that were implemented under his administration. There would be martial law. There is the delayed Marawi rehabilitation. So definitely I'm on the side of the opposition that would try to raise the issues of policy, government administration policies that have relevance to the nation, that affects millions of people. You know, in Lanao del Sur, you have 1 million. Bangsamoro Organic Law, yes, it was passed under the Duterte administration, but this is a product of 17-year negotiation. So this cannot be just an achievement of this administration. But for me, it's really about yung realidad na nasunog ang malaking part of the country, which is the Islamic capital, Marawi City's portion of 29 barangays.
Pero mas mahirap talaga yung sitwasyon mo ngayon. You're running with the opposition.
Yes.
In the past, the last two senators who were Muslims were with the administration.
Yes.
Wouldn't you have found it easier, being practical? I'm asking you from the point of view of something, let's say, real politics. Wouldn't it have been easier for you to just go with an administration slate? I mean, you were appointed before by the president to the commission.
Yes.
So, kahit paano, the president, you had the president's ear.
Yes. Well, ang pinapoint out natin, I'm sure the president won't even be mad at me that I'm on the other side because he would think that there's also other Muslims who can, he's already gotten Congressman Mango Dadato and I'm on the opposition because really I'm critical of the policies and I should question the policies as a woman, as a Mindanaoan, as a Filipina, and there are things to raise, no? So I'm in the right place. For a while nga because they think, why are you Dilawan? Bakit ka nandyan sa kabilang partido? And OFWs are very strong supporters of the current our president. And so sabi ko, well, can you just look at the issues natin as dadalhin ko yung migrant rights and OFWs na kailangan nyo rin naman ng champion, di ba? Because I grew up 15 years in Saudi.
Do you see yourself as Dilawan? And what is Dilawan?
What is Dilawan? Actually, because we're part of the other side and they're so-called the DDS, there's been a polarization of politics dito sa Pilipinas. And for me, na non-politician, never ran in any position at all sa buong buhay ko. Sabi ko, ang dinadala ko talaga sa coalition is yung mga boses ng mga tinig ng mga hindi nakakasama sa political spectrum, indigenous people who can say IP rights. I'm sure Lady Anne will and Kong Mango Dadato, but they're incumbent politicians and I'm coming from the NGO sector. And I would feel that the deepened conversation namin in the civil society would be able to inject some form of consciousness change.